でさ、ゲルグルエルテックスってさ、教習の方、赤いやつ600、スロット構成あんなクソなんだろうな。ガンダムマーク5と同じタイプ。金スロがアホみたいなの置いて。あ、いててて。このゲームちょっとやっててさ、もう、脳筋に振った方が楽しかったんじゃないかなと。クソガキにグーパン空振ったのが屈辱だから。
There they both are. Two identical shoes. Both copiously green. And it's pretty clear a normal cop is not what good. They're balanced. Comfy. Feels like the only... Wow, you work hard. Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide. Oh, yeah. Like a horse. Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked
歩数
asphalt.
計って聞くとさ、
Sand
ポンポンプリンが好きなんだけ
and
どさ、
after you reemerge.
2ちゃんのスレでさ、今5ちゃんなんだっけ、秘宝、ポンポンプリンさん、古文を歩数計代わりにして無事炎上っていう、スレッド見てからさ、スレタイ見てからさ、ポンポンプリン好きになったんだよね。実際、公式画像でさ、歩数計忘れたから、友達のハムスターみたいなのに、自分の歩いてる数数えさせてんだけど。リノリウムってなんだ？検索しよう。リノリウム。リノリウムとは、床材？まあなんか、タイルみたいな感じか。アマニ油などを原料に製造される建材である。床材やインテリア素材として使われる。
That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way. And you won't let it break you. You ride.
誰もが最後なんか随分要所してくんじゃんこいつ。君は今日だね。これか。こんな人向け、曲芸師泥棒耐え難いほど、泥棒向け耐え難い人のもいたから、あなたは実際、あなたよりも良いものになること、そのディスコであることを求める。サマラ式ボクシングのスタイルで人並みをかいくぐり、意表をつくアクロバットで裏口が転がり出る忍び歩きやグルービーなダンス、さらには犯人から結構大事なやつだけどゼロなんだけど、
That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a... Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot? Are you rich? That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
ガルって誰だ？
The Gartman has set himself up one of those self-replicating money structures. You should learn from it. Boo-hoo. The system is broken. The establishment is keeping me down. Look, the immigrants are cool. The immigrants play cool music. Everyone, that's right. 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket. Stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze. Every time you wipe your ass. They got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony. One tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff, 98% of all your money. Here you go, hustler. Fight the righteous fight. Free the people. Keep it real. Keep it.
誰も彼もは君はあ、そうか。まだ終わってねえのか。あれこれ同時進行できんのかこれ。あ、これか。はこれ絶対おかしいわ。同時進行できんのか。これアンロックでどうやってやんのこれ。これさ、絶対なんかおかしかったと思うんだよな、操作のあれが。
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word
Oh, Man from Hjelmdal. A very popular series of adventure novels. Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bad. What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always right. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hjelmdalaman, the man from Hjelmdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
Rows and rows of Hjelmdalamen blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Hjelmdal and the Mammoth Riders, maybe 100. Man from Hjelmdal and the Sages at the End of the World. Man from Hjelmdal and the Force. Those snow crabs are worse than they sound. Not even close. Man from Hjelmdal in Hell. Man from Hjelmdal and the Forest of Slaves. Man from Hjelmdal under the lake. Man from Hjelmdal, Hjelmdal burning. There's even the Trial of Death. A pastel, a twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching. Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from here. She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Hjelmdalaman lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The type, especially those leering types, who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini. There's also the display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hjelmdal novels.
羽がね。
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and
もういい。もういい。
this bookstore is not strict.
もういい。
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revish. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is Ozon, Laurentide, Fas Alamir, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore, radiating outwards from you, the suzerain River shore. With a radius of 80 kilometers, still, the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible. You can, on Caillou, River shore, a single black star. The ocean breaks apart into a tank connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian. I know you have little idea what they are. Distant stars, perhaps they are gods. Gods of distance and outer dark. The north coast of a verdant island is to the east, rolling hillsides. Le Jardin, Stella Marie. The suburb, Hudon. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forberg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is, north of Jamrock. No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick blood. No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets, it's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing. It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was from when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those... They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
川沿いに住む。
Welcome to Crime Be welcome.
A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck, in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber.
Sir, don't be ridiculous. I certainly... One has to earn one's success, even if one is a police officer.
What is this insolence? She misunderstood.
Now, hey there. Sounds like someone isn't tribute, power. These are not the... Oh, yes. Helps to have an anchor in these times. I am the proudest owner of our little...
She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers.
Annette, yes, my daughter. Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how... My precious. Her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. God. I've told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. She'll get over it. She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
ここはちょっと 間を取ったり
She
とか。
stands stiff and severe. This is a person coming to terms with a new reality. One with...
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be
あ、
freezing
うま
out
くいった。
there. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress. Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off. It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighbourhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowd. He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner. Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy. Exactly. She's been too busy helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be...
The woman looks aloof. Her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Everything is on the shelves.
She's attempting to mentally direct you towards the shelves. She only wants you to buy the goods. She doesn't care about the books.
Truth be told, not really. My sister brings... But you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories. I provide a valuable service. The truth is available if you just know where to look. And you have to open and free...
She smiles and nods.
What?
Inexplicable feminist agenda. There is something you need to see, sir. We found the remnants of an ancient art.
中に入ってきてんじゃん。
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk.
You just can't win.
Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. Oh, I found something while you were away. I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does. Just what Dick Mullen would ask. I got it from behind the curtains. I'm not really supposed to go there. Maybe. It's the hat Dick Mullen wears all the... Right, I have to get back to my homework now.
おー帽子はなかったからちょうどいいな。かっけえ。100デメリットなし。セーブしとくか。
You see,
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing. Now, please go...
oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from... You see, aside from...
Nothing.
Oddly enough, the more she tries... Just as you're about to pull apart,
Sir, don't touch that. Parapsychologically speaking...
she looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with...
Why? I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers. No!
Lies. There is something. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you.
ろってとこやん。
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Probably some kids.
The metal feels cold and wet. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onug, written on the other side, with N and C scribbled. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast, studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts. Lanky, weather-worn wooden planks. An X-shaped cross. The church looks old and weather-worn. You're in a...
Yes? Yes?
Hey, up here, piggo.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat? Pigs come to take me out? Trying to snuff me out? Then why are you sneaking up on me like that? Trying to sneak up on me again?
今流行りのメスが来たやつだ。
There must be another way into the building.
Ah, あれのか。お。間違えた。もうバカス。オレンジ色のルンペン部。反応速度上がる。周知学が。何このカカカって。
The spread pattern of these bullet holes makes your chest ache. Your breath grows heavier.
Remnants from the revolution. These are over half a century old. No, we are not constructors and renovators. And not much. I don't have a fresh...
A sturdy metal door guards the south. The door rattles against your knuckle. The door rattles again, but this time...
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside. The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here. No, I already told you. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Madame, I assure you, we are real police officers.
There is no reply. Just faint sweeping. The door rattles.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not... Doesn't matter who I am. The police? Everyone knows the police don't... No, I already told you. Go check the backyard door.
ダメだ。ここ開かねえわ。
Yeah, you
Huh?
better keep walking.
裏口って言ったけど見当たんねえけどな。なんか
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
サミュエル・ L ・ジャクソンみたいな。RCM って何の略だったっけな。
Peyton, my maiden name. I meant you, the Revachol Citizens Militia, the police. Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
What is implied here? That you're a drunk?
Of course you're not. It was only a joke. I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM...
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual...
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears...
Why, yes I am. Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou. I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Canema.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve... It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol.
She's having a good time arguing.
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
The word "it" feels strange. Such a beautiful boat. A breeze ripples through the sails and tugs at your hair. Below, the sleek, fish-like shape of the hull parts the water. Beneath that, a resounding darkness.
Okay. How about Cordeleche 19? Why? Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordeleche, and its hull is 19 paces long. Why Dolores? Well, it means nothing to me. I think I'll stick with the factory name, but thank you for the suggestion. It's a pleasure craft, a 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing, though these days I mainly use it for business. My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the...
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with...
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain. White, qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming. Where's...
I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officers. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one, but 2 insulindic regattas. Even finished once.
Actually, you don't. It is a little known fact among those who police that the Wayfarer Act specifically denies the RCM the authority to demand anyone's operator license. Unless it's their passport. No.
You need to save face if you want her respect.
Of course.
The woman is silent, smiling while the waves lap against the hull. In your hand, under the plastic, a light blue passport saying, Republic of... The woman, born in the year 3 in the commune of Revachol, smiles at you. Face adorned with frown lines and crow's feet. The photo is recent. The name reads...
Yes, but please don't call... Joyce is much more efficient.
She doesn't like it. Probably a bad memory. Mean girls at school or something.
My husband is. I have dual citizenship. A Vespertine is handier when traveling.
She nods and returns the plastic bag to her coat.
Good. What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
アナハイムみたいな。
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms. I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that...
$1 billion?
Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary. But a conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving and growing, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas. 200 centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to... You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners? Who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo? There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure...
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus. Why? By throwing off half a century of foreign domination under the coalition. But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike. I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organisation now. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I
And when did you first?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demand... Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. Every worker, a member of the board. Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations, I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Huh? 彼って言って、これクレアとか言ってるか、女、クレアってなんか女の名前だと思ったけどな。男か。
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar. Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when it's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a
mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is... Indeed, and a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech always hungers. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes.
Disappeared.
On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
消された。
Indeed. The company suspects foul play. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares.
Thank you for your concern, man.
これやっぱり
We'll be
脳
just
筋
fine.
脳筋カスパツが脳筋ビルドにした方がよかったんじゃない？
Of course. How else can I help? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lut, and this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? Oh dear.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but...
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
ああ、そうか、身分証がない。身分証取ってからまたこのばあさんのところに行くのか。彼女は何かを伝えたがっている。バッジ、身分証っていうかバッジ？
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually
あ、
beneficial.
安定が高いから 83% の確率で成功する。
I mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort.
92% に上がった。
Feelings.
お前なんで 92% で失敗するんだよ。バカ。
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming this situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible. Trust me, officer, I am fully committed to resolving this impasse.
She's silent. The wind flaps the set.
Officer. You know, I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something,
You're doing it, despite your own best effort.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able... The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbour. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as... Or you can find your badge, which honestly seems like a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue. This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have... You could request a new one from your station. No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we're... What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her... I'm sure you will, Detective.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has
Ingredients for...
meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dockworkers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link. Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the lorries. Once the ingredients reach Jamrock, perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are... I'll be explicit. If you find this driver...
You'll be indebted to her, in a way. But one step ahead of the Union in another.
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west.
Well, at least this...
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a union. We did. On more than one occasion.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up and...
Well, here's your chance, officers. How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going...
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local... Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, though she's clearly not the type your typical lorryman would confide in.
Yes? Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few... In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance. This... reality... No, but please. A little... Ah, yes. The episode.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well.
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help how...
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
We're in Martinez. Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year. I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager.
A brief spark of longing in an upright body.
This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The Reeds are the real... Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and...
There's a spark in the air, a live wire hanging in the wind, in your hungover neocortex. Then the sea air cools it down.
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the... Yes, we're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water.
Vast, lukewarm, and unknowable.
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the River Esperance. We're in the delta of this river on the sixth...
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
Revachol? Revachol, the great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond page.
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. The nations of the Occident.
マジでこのゲーム
migrant
無視多いな。
workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed. In the DeLorean century, 380 years ago, they say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflict. We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money... I think it's fair to say so. 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are...
Silence. The water, the light. There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea and the cold.
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
This is one thought you need to complete.
Was there something else you wanted to...
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory impaired partner. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Ma'am.
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service. These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late for the big time.
The smile of a predator. No doubt what she's got in mind.
All men are predators, dear. Nothing much to be done about that. The revolution. It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle. The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything. Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective, or the remaining gentry. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the Ultras, or They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended to foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights. The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-la-Clay, the armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the...
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately...
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing...
The rulers of Revachol, and also...
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist. Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work. Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head.
She's not gloating. It's a relieved celebration.
Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot two...
Yeah, it was a curve.
Yes. The Insulindi... Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. Yes, King Guillaume had a nose for bad PR. He ran before it. What is the expression? Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time. Why, of course. We're talking Duke out Central. Full swing. No, I would say the apes were neutral. I don't know about that.
No. The tiny apes are doing all they can to be better. It's not their fault.
The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Gra. It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Marzolf came along and overthrew the government. It made people overthrow their governments. Indeed, Zarat is a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Marzolf's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end. Why? You and I, officer. Our lives...
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie? A pair of pants?
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of...
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter.
The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune. Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-eastlery communication. Telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. 43 years. Hard to fathom. The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flame. The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself. No. It was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash. And East... Welcome to reality, baby.
あげるかね。気力上げるか。暗示が足らなかったからな。これ暗示上げればもう一回挑戦できるかな。上げるかこれ。
From the looks of it, the 50s haven't been much better for the zone of control. You can see it in her eyes. Days slipping away.
I've no right to be dissatisfied. This shirt is Barbara Muscova, this raincoat is impervious to rain and is guaranteed for 100 years. My daughter, we could have had so much more. Every one of us. If only we played it right. Good question.
No, her first.
You and everyone else. But that's got nothing to do with preventing the revolution. Good question.
No, her first.
And I asked you. Past-less detective of the city.
Here's some wisdom, lady. Say the death thing.
死の話をしよ
The cold runs down your spine. As
I see. A tenth of humanity. The key of history is in the lock. Keep turning at any cost.
the wind stops, and for a moment, there's silence. The cold
Revachol forever.
Forever? In 20 years, Revachol went from a king to a commune to a zone of control.
Opinions expressed here do not reflect the official position.
And what is your official position, Lieutenant?
There is curiosity there that goes unnoticed. Kim takes a step.
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saying...
Understandable. They are what they are. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
いくか 42%。 はっ
It
お
remains
前
a
も
mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality. She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor, a devourer of nations and infants. I am an ultra.
It's sharp.
An ultra-liberal. It's a type of liberal. From the revolution. It's, not the moderate kind. No, not like me. I am the nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp who pushed the king under a shipwagon and betrayed the revolution. Are you liberated enough to offer up your home on a plate for financial colonists? No, I think not. Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself.
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and forgive her. But only because you like pearlescent teeth and those light green eyes.
The devil, who being of great charm and guile, sneaketh into the homes of the godly.
Beneath her waterproof raincoat and silk shirt is a body imbibed in numb 12 perfume. You are...
Steal, kill, and destroy. That they say we've been doing for over 4 decades now. Perhaps regrettably. I've had my fill for this. In any case, I'm glad we can remain collegial despite my scaly bulk, and my perverse need to infiltrate and betray both kingdom and revolution. When the dust settled, the liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed. With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker, government that keeps Martinez a monument to the efficacy of its artillery.
While a gentle wind sweeps the streets in the rebuilt east, light drizzle.
I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the Coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own sake, then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty.
Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes. An oil fire on the...
Perhaps. My intellectual vanity will be my undoing. Yes, I suppose I am.
Seditious talk, man.
Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife. Now, shall we return to reality? A bird? A sphenicid? A flight? Ah! This is the... or two. A pre-revolutionary tenement. This one used to be 8 to... mostly the urban middle... Splat, splat. Wonderful. We're in Martinez, baby. Martinez is a dish you would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to Smith. I would be happy to. What is a preposterously expensive education for the girl in the old lady rags? Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a tea. Yes, you and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge. I can't. That's how simple it is. One may dye their hair green and wear their grandma's coat all they want. Capital has the ability to subsume all critiques into itself. All right. What next? Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it? Look at that lady. Take a gander. Why, yes, tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge. Now look at you, you misery-clad simian. Barely you're poor, poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too... You think your little communism protects you from this feeling. Oh God, the lieutenant is here too. Do not dishonor the force.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Okay.
I am
お
sorry.
前何回これチェックしてくれん
It
の
just doesn't come out of your
か
mouth.
ね
What does is
Excuse me?
what she meant to say was.
Of course, Detective.
えあ
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Bruta. Evening falls. The vowels are blurred and lower intestine. The fascism, Bruta. You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, bro, for the nation. Smart.
賠償
Best
人の
not to
国会議
mention the women issue too often. People are not ready. Of course you are, Buta. Of course. Indirect modes of taxation. Turns out those Financial Oversight Committee gangsters stuffed millions of hard-earned dividends away in the last place anyone thought to look. The hearts and minds of everyday Riversholians. You need to spread that deregulation gospel to the people. Tell them about that foreign fair tax. Preach that 98% gross burden. Preach it, preacher man.
高速道路で麻薬運んでるような、麻薬の材料運んでるトラック運転手 3人候補がいてみたいな話だけど、これ高速道路ってどこにあるか分かんないんだけど、これ全体マップとかねえからな。あんのかな。ちょっと長々と会話して、ちょっと一回セーブしとくか。もうめっちゃ、もうどんだけ、お前文章読ませすぎだろこのゲーム。こちらっていうか。
Hello again, officer. Me? I am just a guard. I am pleased to meet you too, officer. Of course. There's the pier, the Cape side of the harbor gates. Some kind of commotion, I think. I don't... Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think.
南だな。
Just
多分南だ。
There's a little...
Rows of stalls under a broad roof.
Anything else? It's just water.
In the west is the miracle.
No problem.
こいつが運んでるこのトラックじゃないよな。
Hello again, my man.
あんたハーブ、そうだ、ほらほら。だからこいつも候補者の一人なわけよ。あんたハーブに詳しそうだなって。
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing this, but those days are behind me.
Just be straight with him.
素直に言えばいいよ。
Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment?
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
環状交差点に何もかな。
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in... Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
これちょっといいやつっぽかったからな。ヒューマンオックス。
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent. Not a good track record of mental health in that family. Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was no... Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpower. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy. Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable. He called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene, There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon.
The man certainly knew how to live.
But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled
トロフィー手に
cocaine
入ったぞ。
addiction.
しかもなぜか金手に入ったし。
You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering, not just any nose candy though. We're talking Royal Philippian blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find nowadays. And purple.
情報が多
Philippian
い。
cocaine was purple. Cocaine.
ハーブだ。
His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms. That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later. Right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum. This is slander. The king was just and beautiful. The revolutionaries made this all up beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay. Thrown there by the revolutionaries, after a group of marble pleurons still surround the king's vandalized tomb. The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought the statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit. Neither do people in Martinez. The statue has proved Philip III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned. The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter. Some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your... No response, wherever this woman is.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you?
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the wary aspect of a cornered beast.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s. The men have small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make back in Mecca during the time of the revolution? The side walls and cafes are filled until you came along, that is. Someone was. I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just... While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little... This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark. This man's got a hold over her.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to... They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true.
She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange thought, as if the past will one day wipe the present away, like a tidal wave approaching.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole. Diamonds? Of course not. But wouldn't it be whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine? I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the...
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
Oh, it's so much more than a high.
Yeah, it's definitely some kick. Some terrible kick in the dark.
Then it's contraband, Lawman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in?
Bad hand. Hermenegildos' bad hand. Strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people.
Of course not. To truly understand the boyadero, you need...
The woman sways her wrinkled shell back.
She's just a distracted old woman.
You hear that, Lawman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me.
Nothing. I just don't think...
He's worried, but not for her. For you.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the Lomonosov's land who does not...
A terrible cold comes over her, rattling her.
The Transcatolia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas du Mirador. All the good one. You're right, Lawman. I'm the one who should take my health more...
A correct appraisal.
Is that all you woke me up to say? What do I need drugs for, Lawman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary. Yes, there is a protagonista, and...
I don't like the sound of any of that. Sounds like a horrible drug.
If you don't know... You're mad, Lawman. What of it? Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grat, on the U41A. What do you think? No, Lawman.
Damn this. Make her answer.
Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here. Diamonds are good for you, Lawman. You should try them sometime. I would never make fun of a real Lawman, Sheriff.
Man, you're not responsible for what a client puts in your lorry, as long as the seals are not opened. We officers know that.
Lay off her.
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to... or I can just...
I think we're done here, no?
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get...
こいつが最後の運転手かな。話しかけられねえな。もうちょっと手前の方の。
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in this city, but I love it nonetheless. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post.
Oh, come on, man. I just said...
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind, but you see, I'm an officer of the RCN. It's actually my job to make...
Silence. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
I haven't learned anything I didn't know before.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calm.
Whatever you say, officers. Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let... You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here, and they know they can't beat us in a fair fight. So they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial.
There's your in. Take his side in this particular fight. He eyes you wearily, unsure how. Damn, it didn't work.
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the wheeling. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to. It's a fucking travesty, is what it is. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Really, he's just selling his employer stuff. Stuff he stole after he just follows the smell. It smells like apricot and oil.
Yes, yes.
Looks like I offended your partner there. Too bad. Sealang's usually a little bit sort of... His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until...
Guess so.
南って言ってるけどな、シーリングってあいつの名前シーリングじゃないよな。これ違うよな。
Hello again, my man.
これ違うわ。
What's on your mind?
ああ。こいつか？
There are clothes inside. Cheap second.
Don't be shy.
Ah,
These are
Sealing,
premium
what's
class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and...
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand, buy second hand. Keep the economy moving.
Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek. A windbreaker. This jacket is the apex of human. Practical, and yet it may deaden your senses to the...
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50.
金がね。
You see two lowly, defeated speakers. Thralls. Slaves, basically.
I can see you with taste for luxury, officer.
A pair of found ultras. The design is impossibly sleek.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest found sneakers. Super air, super fine, super cool. Only 50 real.
3円、3.42 しか持ってないのに50すんだけど。
These once respectable speakers have been conquered. Reduced.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here. These, officer? These speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to even use them for props.
These once respectable speakers have been conquered. Reduced to a mere prop.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. Then look at them again. These are the premium lifestyle sneakers, officer. The best
この中にさ、麻薬隠してるんじゃね？
No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk. No, officer. You're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I've got the best on sale. Well, if you want, but see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for little extra. 50 cents? No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad. That's right, officer. You're a high-class policeman.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses.
You like sunglasses, officer?
Abort. These are hideous.
Damn, officer. You look like a mega secret spy.
They're perfect for concealing your...
No, you are definitely not buying those. No, I can't. We can't walk around with you looking like this. Okay, fine. Go ahead. If you want to look like a woman.
なんかこいつ戻る人だからさ、こいつが犯人っぽくないよな。
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by... The name Sileng is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool. Everything's cool.
From out on the bay, a cool wind gathers.
You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang. You're right, officer. 100%. No playing around then.
8%。
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
ハーバー大好物だっ
That's
た。
very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale. Or at my home, or on my person. That's cool. Especially after you already said
すげえ、ちゃんとさ、
all the coolest detectives
先に選んだ選択肢に対応してんな、
and are very conflicted about it.
返しが。
Still, no drugs here. That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street
ちゃん
vendor.
これさ、このゲームさ、こういうとこがすげえちゃんとできてるなって思う。なんか別のやつと話した会話がさ、ちゃんと反映されてるっていうか。
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who...
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder. And he's... Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. No! That's insane. It's the fat hater. He's been eyeing me for a week and he sent you here. Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb
And what crowd?
crowd.
He doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid.
脅すか。
No use. He's not telling us. He's too afraid. We need to take him to my station and ask him there.
Okay, look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up. It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the
運
lady
転手は女だ。
driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady. I don't know. Maybe. If she is,
It could be. She was strange.
all of them. I don't...
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you. Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all very sharp, officer. I'm Serais from the Sigai province of the Serais Empire. The apricot suzerainty, you know?
The apricot suzerainty is what the Sigai archipelago is commonly known as in Revachol. It's a bit of a fraught term.
No, apricots come from Seaguy. My grandma used to grow them. But Seaguy is a shithole. That's why I came to Revachol. Here's much better. Speaking of, why not support an independent local entrepreneur?
Well, if it's for his grandma, you should buy.
これでまたババアのとこに話しかけに行けばなんか会話が変わんのかね。女ドライバーと正体とトラックのありかを突き止める。
Hey. Psst.
Huh?
Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building. Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too? This conversation isn't really about love. Try to keep up, okay? This is about the communism you've promised. You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket. Funky style. Very funky. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it? Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready. Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few.
マゾフ派。毎日ここどこが通れてどこが通れないのか分かりづらいな。あれこの辺ババアいなかったっけ？こうか。
Loman, you caught me at an opportune moment. Did you just call me a lady?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I'm not that either, Harifa. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between. I'm only terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me. Because they can no longer recognize the person the big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there. In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway.
You feel very cold suddenly, as if standing face to face with a terror.
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around when I have my movies to go to? How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers? Oh, Sim.
Something in her is pulling towards some unknown rest state. She twitches like a sleep kick.
Huh?
Bastards! We have a right to work! Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops, you here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down. Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to... Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence. Rights of people. Rights of workers. To have gainful employment. Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side. I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the right to work! Right to work! Maybe you should ask them the questions. Like, why would we have families to feed, you piece of shit?
So do we, Scott.
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If Union fucks don't want work...
I have a question. Why do all these men...
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy. Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. I'm trying to meet their fat boss. I know nothing about a murder.
The mention of a killing sends a barely...
Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They do... Right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. We should bring backup, open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers.
We are not picking a side in pity.
Lad! When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people. Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right to work!
When the man moves around, you perceive some serious abs underneath. There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of it. His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls held up by a belt. He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
What's it to you? Am I a suspect? Done no crimes. I only fight for the rights of people. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill. Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? Uh-huh. It was a long time ago. What's it to you? Big mess, caused by union greed. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain. Worked at Territorial. We're done here. I have a strike to break.
Well.
Right to work! Right to... Things are busy enough. You're going to waste less of my time?
The hulking man oozes stark skepticism.
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working. if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. But try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. Like civilized folk, you mean? These
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
Scab?
What did he just call you? Oh no, not this again. You just got away from that fucking kid.
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses. Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to Scab. Or I guess, scared maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. These scabs ain't begging. They ain't holding on to their integrity. I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here, to the Wild North? Come to see the strife? Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. Of course, Policia. What?
Should we? He's nice. I don't like nice.
My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself. I walk right past Measurehead and go. Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him.
2.5 メートル。2.5 メートルってなんかベストな感じじゃない気がするよな。やっぱ2メートルぐらいがちょうどいい気がするけど。
Then press the button to unlock the door. Then go past him again. And you enter the arbor through the office. Está. Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible.
こ
For
れさ、
example, you could best
ステータス
measure
を
head
さ、
in
こう
a
肉
physical
体とかにガン振りしてたら勝てるみたいな、そういう肉体とか運動能力とかに。
Or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible. Not yet, no. He's...
Nothing a couple of solid hooks from Dexter and Sinister won't fix.
Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition. Sure. Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
The coin lands into your hand as if it has always belonged there. The swallow returns.
Always glad to help out the RCM. Shame I can't do more. Things are meager. You know, the winter's fat is slowly running out and all. Still better than scabbing, though. Nothing to worry about, really. The jam's a bit of a mess. Cargo can't get in or out. The rationing is a bit stricter is all. Supplies should last the strike, though. I'm always glad to help out when possible. Not like these slithering scabs. You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss, and up.
これね、こいつのでかい 2.5 メートルがいるから。
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger, because you are not a threat to me. You have succumbed to Al-Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. Yes, Al-Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison, a parasitic fungus that has colonized your race. It is a trick the desert pygmies played on you, for humiliating them and stripping them of their land. Correct, my small skull servant.
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup.
Show him the ham still got it.
Willingly calling yourself a ham sandwich. How far did you gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war? You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Quakers. But now your ascent to the genetic summit, you will be superseded. Isn't
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage. Bring your troops to the Simenon Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, the walls will be lined with bottles of Al-Ghul, your beloved beverage.
This is your chance. He's talking. No, don't rip into anyone. You're sensitive. Remember? Communicate.
Oh, don't be vulgar. White or not has got little...
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. he has the will to confront police. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic. Of course you are, Levasholian man. The failure of communism to challenge the world order is the core of your race fate. Above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? Degenerate youth culture? Rock and roll music? Stop explaining yourself. No one cares about your beliefs. The rock and roll is moribund. Only Koikos listen to it anymore. There is no life left in it. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race. The South Island race, haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We are the future. That is all you need to. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulimbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Seminoles women walk into the... No.
He would be appreciative if you did not further chase this line of inquiry in front of the women.
Yes.
I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be the really good one. There always is.
Race is reality. Racists are generally not very good examples of their race. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and feet. Correct.
Go ahead. Don't be shy. Just ask for race secrets. That's understandable. Jean-Luc Measurehead is a sage and an intellectual giant of race theory. Who are you, handmaiden of Al Ghul?
概念か。これ質屋か。
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is...
What's that magazine she's reading?
I don't know. Frit? A 7 to 11 grocery store? I think they think that the extra tea makes it funkier. You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got...
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to... She pops her raspberry-flavored bubblegum. The lieutenant frowns at you before turning to the clerk with an apology.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting. I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to...
Okay. Uh-huh. I don't really know anything. Uh-huh.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma.
回復アイテムか。これ質屋じゃねえな。
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Oh, that's the tear machine. It's a machine for tear. You know, you find tear outside, like bottles or whatever. You need a bag, I guess. We used to have... Feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are...
袋が落ちてる。
Stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy grad make. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see the driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. The back end of the cabin is a small perch to sleep.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his...
He was acting tough before. This probably scared him a bit. Who knows when it will come in handy.
Lowman, you caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather keeps me awake. You can entertain me with... What do I need drugs for, Lowman? Then what will you get?
This line of questioning is going nowhere. Try hard.
Why would I want to do that? Lowman, what in the name of God are you talking about? Good. I don't care about drugs. Little molecules there. What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I say?
The woman sways her wrinkled shell back and forth.
You just...
She clearly doesn't think the woman's malevolent.
I'm a lady like you are, Gabriel Buenguerro. Only in dreams. I'm only terrifying to small children. And to those, how should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around? Oh, Sim.
Something in her is pulling towards some unknown rest state. She...
It's raining again. It was clear, just on me. I am just a gardener. I am working. I have a...
There's discomfort. She stops mid...
As you already know, the...
Don't worry, me.
Mm-hmm.
もう積んだんだけど、次何すればいいか分かんねえ。
you come to make your offering to Kuno?
Please don't waste.
The lieutenant doesn't.
Don't listen to the blind. You can pay tribute to Kuno.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is an inconspicuous pile of the roofing material eaten. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an oak.
これさ、バール持ってれば壊せるかな。
An inconspicuous pile of
ダメ
the
じゃん。
roofing material Eternite.
鍵のかかった箱は開けられるか。ビニール袋を見つけたいけど全く落ちてねえしな。
All around you, rain falls on the great city of Revachol. The spring thaw must be here. Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from grey sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Your shirt sticks to your chest. The shoulders of your disco blazer grow heavy. The cold fight. You're not dressed for this weather. You should get an overcoat. Sheets of rain over the water. A flight of stairs. The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet. Beyond the Bay of Revachol, ghosts rise. The skyscrapers of La Delta. Will you ever go there? No, you are just one of the hundreds of thousands. Urban coastline. Rain dripping off Eternite-covered roofs. Cinder block, coal city, and your hair is an oily. There's a fleet on the corner. A plastic coat is folded into a small triangle under the counter by the window. Beyond that, the strike breakers of
窓辺のカウンターの下に小さな三角ビニールビニールゴロ。
the great gates of the industrial harbor. Behind the gates, heaps of supply crates, red and blue metal shipping containers, slick with rain. The greater Revachol industrial harbor is an artificial La Drusienne, King Dries Couron, the lower a silvery curtain of Capeside apartments. Hallways collapse from a yard. Rain, a traffic jam. Rain thrumming on the road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of Revachol is the capital of the world. Jamrock is the capital. It's home.
Have a brother in the cut. Where the wood?
To be in Martinez, where no standing in the rain, looking north, on a street there that
you cannot return.
In the rains, your vision blurs. You wipe coalition era statics hang like apparitions under.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. You should get a raincoat. There's a freight to the east. They sell them there.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know any. I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's.
No need to worry.
Okay. I don't really know.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants.
What is what? If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real. Here you go.
雨やんだけど。買った。レインか。レインもちょっと降ってるか。
Everything's still cool here, officer. Me? It's a boring story of very cool. I...
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the... Try to find something pretty and cool here. Then, yes, buy something. This sounds off. You big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks. But
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about...
A long, long time ago. They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trap.
This is what the loyalists looked like, yes, at first. Then they were...
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
This set of soldiers isn't...
You're probably talking about the... I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. Maybe.
He seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in perpetuity by these toys.
これ手さばきを上げる装備があるんだったら、まあ、逆に下げる装備をつけたら外すか。プラス1なんだよな。別に手さばき下げる装備はねえか。つけてねえか別に。ちょっと盗みにチャレンジしてみるか。
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Why?
Okay.
What's this?
Oh, that's the headless phone
rider.
The headless phone rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol. 50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has many interpretations. If you don't mind, please put the flashlight away. I do appreciate it. It's not often that I see officers from... What can I do?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls.
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of...
Who are your customers?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travellers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keep. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
Ha!
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward, a drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Why on earth? There's a prescription.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your jacket.
I was with the emergency relief brigade. You know, after the People's Pile disaster, had to take Perolidon for radiation sickness. That's what you were hinting at just now, wasn't it?
He's taken for mental and emotional, not physical.
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some... We were an all-volunteer force. Self-organized. Tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
Tough son of a gun, this one. Respect.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years get... There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened. And why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment. And early deaths. Cancer mostly. No one's. Everyone's.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor. The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack, so I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can. Still in the same city, but... I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have. I do my best to keep my distance from all...
No one likes to see what you have to see every day. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed.
Have you tried it before?
It's almost like the lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knickknacks on display. Go ahead then, he thinks. As long as you can walk straight, I don't care.
Here you go, man.
Yes, darling. That's the coalition government order. Not so sure about this. Because it's an anti-radiation drug, and you're a cop, not a post-apocalyptic scavenger.
Of course. Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
What? The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Alert. We've came here too.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a and I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts vote on a mission.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
You weren't quiet. You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to you. When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of...
You sucked on a gun? Good. Very normal.
$15 real.
The lieutenant looks from you to Roy, and then, this has got to be the most. There's pity there too.
It certainly does, especially in Revachol. She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and...
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
My apologies.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Of course. Sure thing. Sure, man.
これどこに装備するやつなのこれ。あ、左手に持つの。遺体の予備検視が済んだら、だから境別繊維が使われるんだよな。なくした。ああ、特務向けど。ヘルムだろうが。これさ、近づくだけでいいって近づけないんだよな。
Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the... Typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor, and the light pole has been carefully cut, and the wire...
Yes, officer. As you... It was brought to...
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever.
700 real.
A bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet-talk you into buying trash.
The light has undergone 3 transformations, and every transformation, well, there are the costs of removal and rewiring. But the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological
このゲーム
field.
で700
The
リアル
light
とかどうやっ
became
て試す
suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
なんかいる。
Evening, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed. His posture is relaxed. Despite his powerful build and a knife in his hand, this man resorts to physical intimidation only infrequently, if at all.
My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company and eating his salami.
From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and grey overalls waving at you from a...
Very good stuff. Anything I can do for you, officer? I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh?
The words, Daredevil Driver.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro... yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins. Sure thing. Want some too, officer?
Why not?
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed Samaran butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything. You pull the lever all the way up. Nothing happens. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
Ah, これか。今何曜日なのかわかんないんだけど。指なし手袋。あれじゃん。栗山だっけ？冬の山に登山、外国の冬山登山して。あれやばかったなぁ。 栗から始まってなかった。栗なんてとかって真っ黒になっててさ。指の先が。凍傷で。あんななっててもまだなんか、まだ治る可能性にかけてんだからやっぱりやばいよな。まあ、死んじゃったけども、あの人。電気科学。こっちも手さばきなんだよな。あそこは質屋。ちょ。ビニール袋とか多分さ、序盤に手に入るアイテムな気がするんだけど、見つかんねえんだよな。なんか開いてんじゃん。いくら返せばいいんだっけ、こいつに。
Can I help you? Yes. Have you got it? For the drinks?
30.
Like what? I was really enjoying talking about the money you owe me. What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction. They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit.
He hates the Union, but grudgingly recognizes its power over him. So he's directing his frustration at you instead. Retaliate.
I don't. I'm simply providing a service, or really facilitating the offering of services to paying customers, and it doesn't matter. I don't have to explain myself to you.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even men on...
You glance at the clock on the wall behind the manager. Huh.
Good question.
They're probably getting drunk or protesting something somewhere. Or laying low off.
Whatever he may feel about you, he can't miss the opportunity to throw you a look of what he assumes is shared understanding. Go with it.
Yeah. The Union guys think they're untouchable. They probably fucking killed that guy or something, and now think they can hide out till it all blows over, and it's fair weather again in Martinez.
I have a feeling we'll make their acquaintance sooner or later.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything in...
Another thing. Great. Yes?
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood. Occasionally, as you step in, he nods toward the table and says something. It must be his name. Garanzi. Garanzi Quebec. Sounds representative. The man puts his cup down and replies something. his left hand drawing arcs in the air. He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots.
Speak Revacholian? We speak Suren. There is no such thing as the Revacholian language.
The cook is still smoking, ash falling from...
Good thing he didn't understand a word of your stupidity.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple. You immediately feel drawn to the color.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? Yes, I suppose it's worth seeing if we can get in. Just to be thorough, as a side investigation. Gart is the person to ask about this, the cafeteria manager.
The cobalt blue surface feels roughed. The door does not.
なんかさ、若干やってることムーンっぽいとこあるのこれ。
Can I help you? Another thing. Oh yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about... No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely...
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about what... So, I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though. After the animals. And I haven't found a key, so yes.
Hello again, sweetie.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. Attaboy. It's coming back to him. You had your mesolimbic reward pathway worried there, not thinking about drinking all that time. Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum and lemonade to yourself, boy. Or better yet, lick calmly. The lieutenant looks out of the window, then to you, licking the tasty rum stain off the counter, but only a little, then out.
What are you doing? We should move.
You could definitely go for some more. The titillating scent of alcohol in your nostrils. The door is closed. Still, the lieutenant gives... He doesn't like where this is going. You should punch a fucking hole in it.
Hey,
that felt good, don't? Everyone is a whore. What does that even mean? Breathe in, you hear the murmur of blood in... Kim also tries not to look at the pile of taped viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner. But it's all just too morbid to ignore.
No problem, officer.
The bed is cold and not particularly. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Of course. What is the number, officer?
Yes, hold on.
Received.
Give it a minute. She might be busy.
Just wait.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line. Yes, hello? Oh, right.
You can hear resentment in her tone. There is no resentment in her tone. She wants you to ask her out. No question about it.
No, not me. No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They usually...
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the union already knew about the court. No one calls the police. The union would get angry. You know, what the union says goes. People listen to them and they...
まずマフィアじゃん。
Push her further. No, don't push her. It sounds as if she's about to cry.
The other people who live around here...
Her voice is resigned.
You don't live here. You don't understand. Squealing is frowned upon. Please, I just didn't want any trouble. I didn't know I had to report it.
The fucking nerves on her. Trying to hide behind weakness. You're a god. An angry but just...
俺は神だって。お前が知らせる相手は俺だ。
Hey, if you cannot restrain yourself, then I'll be handling the interviews from now on, and you can quietly take notes. Apparently so.
Please. Cop with an anger issue. Underpaid, overworked, and on the verge of collapse in both personal and professional. Breathing on the other end suggests that Sylvie is still on the line.
Okay. You mean why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm... Not... What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring God... I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing up. You mean why did I leave the... That's just... You know who.
You think you hear us? Don't be paranoid. She's obviously talking about someone else, not you.
Maybe, I don't know. Yes, I know who you are.
Yeah, I think she got it. Good job.
Oh.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? Yes, you absolutely... It feels like you haven't worn yours in a long, long time.
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun that... You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating, and
Sounds like it's going to be bad. Do you...
you were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes.
Some poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot. People tried to back away from you, or even slip out of the door. But you screamed, "I am the goddamned law, and you have to listen to me. You are all
Me neither.
There is silence on the other end of the line.
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns. It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask. Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. You had... No, absolutely not. I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
Wait.
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her.
I'm not mad, it's just... You were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skua thing happened. The stuffed bird, the great skua. You threw it against the wall. I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there. It was a pretty bird, there since I started working.
There's genuine sadness in her voice.
Yes, obviously. You were the worst. I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for 2 months. Well, you were worse than all of them. Even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. No more. We Go On by the O.O. I can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody. To hell with that. Then there was your room. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me up, and then screamed something about how you're a piece of shit human being, and why does anyone even let you work as a policeman? That you'd fire yourself, and then I had to deal with your toilet. The one you clogged with police. I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke. The ones I had to rent out. Damn it, I don't remember what I did to your damn paper.
She's worried she might have accidentally done something bad. Then she remembered.
Especially when there's a hurricane loose, it's your fault for...
Something in you wants to immediately forget about this, as if there was a...
No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst. God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again. And wait, really? No. I was actually flattered. I've always liked him.
There's a pause. You can almost see her on the...
I didn't know what to say to him later. Then you came and destroyed the place. So I left without explaining. Okay, but please don't mess it up. Please don't take out your gun or something.
You hear a sigh of relief on the other end.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? 57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
とりあえずことずってことずっていくか。ツケを負けてくれるかもしれない。
Can I help you? Wait, what? But what about the bird? Yes, the bird. I found it lying on the floor with a broken wing the morning she left. You broke the skewer!
I assure you it was him.
It's as if he can't decide whether to be angry or relieved that it was you. Again.
Why on earth did you have to break the skewer? I can't believe it. I was so sure it was Sylvie. Even worse, I thought she was trying to send me a...
That bird ain't no symbol of hope.
All right. Did she say anything else? About me, you know? Did she say anything about me? Really? I should give her a call then. Thanks, I guess. Was there anything else you wanted, or...
Or can you give him a moment? Somehow you realize this is not going to net you any professional discounts. Already he's reverting back to defensive.
Do I have a shaker in my hand? Is this...
He sounds irritated.
Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling? That's right, I'm the cafeteria manager. I'm glad we cleared that. Is there anything... Like what?
あれか。これ、レベル上げすんのさ、この再挑戦するやつを上げた方がいいかもね。完了じゃなくてよ。これもはや伝説っていうのはさ、このキムとかのさ、
Yes?
これほぼ無理ってことだろ。あれ？これか。なんかロックされてるけど。
No response. He just arches his brow.
Have you tried concentrating on something?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your...
Not a fan. It's...
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the Decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for 2 sergeants and 8 officers. That means the average lieutenant has to deal with quite a few personal affairs. Even you know this.
Try work. The case at hand. Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation. Really? You look fine to me. This psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer. Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's lazaret. Was there anything else you wanted? What do you want to know? You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again? There's no reason to wing in. 3 days ago, the RCM. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him. Okay then. Was there... Good.
call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
ああ、これこっち側からじゃないと開かない感じか。レベルは上げられるわけだけど、これ名前がいまいち把握してねえからな、これ。キムは相棒だろう。このトミール・オムってどこにいたかなと思った。ジョイスはあのおばちゃんだろう。メジャーヘッドはまああのあいつだろう。C 連合あいつか。失敗したやつもう一回やりたいよな。
This Postlovantorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best the mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. And then suddenly, you see it. Over.
That's all.
There is a hollow ring as your toe has suffered.
Oh, baga.
Cool. You really showed that mail collection box. I don't.
He must see the box as the weaker of the two, and you as a...
We're still waiting for a replacement for the bull you sent sinking.
I have really outdone my...
Yes, that's what you need, Gus.
René, it's a lit... Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day? Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for... No, officers.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar in the Union. Someone must know something.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything.
Respect?
I'm not.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of...
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not... Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I taught these boys human studies.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on.
The old soldier mumbles something.
Let's try not to get caught now.
Lest we leave riddled with bullet holes. This animosity is ancient.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties. Help with little things. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card, but...
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew I hate the socialist rabble. But even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence. Never committing to anything. Pick a damn...
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs... Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just...
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's comic proper...
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't...
The only one you have.
Suddenly you realize how hungry you are. The last time you ate must have been...
Believe me, officer, I wish I could help you, but I need this...
You can barely hear him. The sweet smell of pickles in harm.
Fuck off! It's mine! Sorry, officer. I'm sorry.
When the dissidents come to rape our country, he hides. But try to get a bite of his dear sandwich and he gets claws? You're a special kind of vermin, Gaston.
トミールまで誰だっけな。マップが手に入ればどこにいるかと、なんかこれマップに表示されるのかね。マップも手に入ってないから、今よくわかんないしな。
The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda.
あ、これ買えばいいか。買おうか。
A map of Martinez.
28% か。まあ普通に買おうか。
Always good to be informed of your surroundings. You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy location. Your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Sop, finally coming to a halt on the spot.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
Oh, 来た。あ、こいつか。おー、わかりやすくなった。いいぞ。いいじゃん。あら、いいね、これ。めっちゃわかりやすくなったじゃん。ジョイス・メス、意志力中。少し難しい。あ、これ今さ、やんなかったやつだよな。
Several maps. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catch.
I'm sorry, officer. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. Yes, yes. Are you interested?
可能。吊るされた男、もはや伝説。共感力上げてあいつにもうワンチャンレンジしてみるか。
There he still is, looking right.
Active decay.
He's about to blow. Cop's gonna blow, Kuno.
ダメージ受けてると下がるのか。共感上げればこいつのこの中に再挑戦できるんだよな。
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind?
ロック中。共感。これか。あ
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind?
In his eyes, an unfamiliar longing, flecks of brown and gold. It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest. The road continues for miles, flowing together with other roads, above the Jamrock Quarter in the form of a raised motorway, and then to the old south, to the farthest outskirts of Revachol, through the checkered fields of farmland. Upstream you cannot see. It's out of the city. Up ahead, the mist block.
Excuse me? Man, I don't know what to say. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am stuck in this shit. Diora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Le Caillou, pretty much. On another island called Laurentide. Off. What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. What about you, cop man? You missing someone?
Is that what it is? No, it's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow, and the past.
You lost your gun. Oh man. But, thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone. And I know it wasn't easy to ask. I hope you find your way through your own troubles. I don't want to talk about that. Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She is some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is. I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's...
He still is. Hoping. It's just wishful thinking on his...
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me, too. Now I see a friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. A youngish woman. Gruff, but...
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Died. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went. Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad.
We can't just let...
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl...
It won't come to that. We won't pursue...
I don't believe you. She's got the darkness in her. That young person's dark...
She shared this with...
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her. It's snitching, man. I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't a...
Did this violent life include...
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. The way it worked.
The pain it was causing her.
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. Push Tommy and it will break his heart and his spirit. Don't. Now is not the time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son.
You're not gonna put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you?
I wouldn't be so... Imagine it. An explosion of stars. Goodbye world of men, money, and machine.
Thank you, friend. Wow, this makes me feel like I should...
こいつはなんかいいやつっぽいから、あっちのレイシストから強引に聞き出すか。もう勤務時間外なんだが。こいつか。あ、こいつだな。
Looking for something? I don't know what you're talking about. He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another lorryman's job. You should be thankful for the...
He's been expecting this. He's really puffed himself up.
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
No. He means La Puta Mat.
The name resounds like a bell in the air. Looks like the lieutenant.
Yeah, him.
Then I presume you're...
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is. It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorryman and Carter's Guild.
You've seen the corpse in the yard, yes? You took a peek. I know it.
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turned. I softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job.
白目。まあ一回これスキルポイントまだ残ってんだっけこれ。開けられるのか。まあ失敗したらもう一回白目開ければいいか。72%。
It's about biological not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in...
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it all...
I'm not the only one. Look, I've read books. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the... Open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? An unfortunate downturn, maybe? Huh? When members of the problem? The damn Kips are showing a real good game lately. Same with the Mosquitoes. And the other end, it's what the Kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any motetos? It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new subrace, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra Good. If we, the evening people, pull together, we can form a bulwark against these troubled times. Root out the...
Lieutenant Kitsuragi's stern expression. Oh no, not too happy.
お、今の会話であれだな、上がったな、可能性が。こいつの貢献と。
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike. Apples. Yeah, apple.
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were bested.
Oh, not much anymore. The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month. 2 months, maybe. But this here is apples. Yeah, apple.
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest.
83% いくぜ。
Men like this only respect two things. Time to turn up the volume.
Fuck you, I told you.
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably.
Now it's not a big deal for him anymore.
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now, leave me the fuck alone, okay?
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too.
よし。緑の店舗。なんかこうちょっと話があるな。
When you said before that you were down with racism.
Well, now you've done it. Let's see if you can talk your way out of this one.
I suppose that's a relief. Just be careful how often you avail yourself. And one more thing. As you've seen, these sorts of attitudes are quite common. I've had this conversation enough times in my life. From now on, I'm going to stay out of it. How you choose to respond is...
結構ここら辺しっかりしてるよな。で。とりあえずセーブしとくか。3時にちょっとバトベつけたい都合があるんだよな。どうせ3時頃にやめて寝ようと思ったけど。モニュメントがこれだろう。モニュメントの南の緑のトラックってどこやなの？これか？あ、これか。あ、これや。あ、これもチェックできるな。あ、タンクトップがビニール袋かと思ったわ。ビニール袋どこにあるんだよ。お、肉体装置か。あ、でもこれやればまたなんか、じゃあこの辺にしとくか。これ調べたら、なんだろう、薬が残ってんのかな。薬っていうか薬の材料か。ハーブの材料、原料か。材料っていうか。手がかりみたいなのかな。でもなんかそれもなんか本体じゃねえんだよな、話の。別にこいつら麻薬捜査に来てるわけじゃないからな。こいつらが調べてることの手がかりを知ってるババアに協力をさせるために、あいつがやりたいこのなんか、ナイフの材料を調べてるって感じだな。先は長いわ。あれ2時47分セーブ、OK。 放送終了しようと思います。ご視聴ありがとうございました。失礼します。